Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into the really fascinating way seasons are understood in Telugu culture, based on traditional calendar systems. And trust me, it's a lot more detailed than you might think.
So let's kick things off with a question that seems, pretty simple. How many seasons are there in a year? For most of us, a number probably just pops right into our heads.
And that number is usually 3, right? Especially in many parts of India, including the Telugu-speaking regions. The year is commonly split into 3 main seasons. You've got a hot summer, a cool winter, and, of course, the rainy season. Simple enough.
Well, not so fast. Because if we dig a little deeper into the Hindu calendrical traditions that have shaped Telugu culture for centuries, a much more detailed and, frankly, a more interesting picture starts to take shape.
Because this tradition doesn't describe 3 seasons, it describes 6. They're known as ritus. Yeah, you heard that right, 6 distinct seasons. Each one captures a very specific 2-month slice of the year. Okay, let's get into what this is all about.
So what exactly are these 6 seasons? What do they represent? Let's get familiar with the names and what they really mean.
So here they are: Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemantha, and Shishira. Each of these marks a specific 2-month period based on the lunar calendar, and each one captures a totally unique phase of the natural year with some amazing precision.
Now, to really get a feel for this system, we need to see how these ritus flow, one right into the next. So let's take a quick journey through the year and see how this beautiful cycle actually unfolds.
The cycle traditionally kicks off with Vasanta Ritu. This is the season of life, of renewal. In other words, this is spring.
This season lines up with the Telugu months of Chaitram and Vaisakam, and it's all about nature just waking up from its long sleep. You see trees start to bud, flowers are bursting into bloom. It's a really vibrant way to start the year's cycle.
Okay, so after that gentle arrival of spring, the energy shifts, big time. We move into Grishma Rutu, which is the peak of summer.
During the months of Jaishtam and Nishadam, the defining feature is, you guessed it, the heat. We're talking intense sunshine, soaring temperatures. It's a really powerful and distinct phase in the whole cycle.
And just when that heat starts to feel almost unbearable, the cycle shifts again to bring some much-needed relief. This is the vital Varsha Ritu, the monsoon season. This season covers the months of Shravanam and Bhadrapadam, and it's all about those life-giving rains that just sweep across the land. They bring relief from the summer heat and totally replenish the earth. It's a time of high humidity and, of course, some really heavy rainfall.
Now, after the rains have washed everything clean, the atmosphere just clears out. And this brings us to Sharad Ritu, or autumn. So in the months of Ashwayujam and Kartikam, the clouds part. You get these mild temperatures, crystal clear skies, and this beautiful bright moonlight. It's really no wonder that this period is often associated with major festivals and celebrations.
Then, you start to feel it, that first little chill in the air, that signals the arrival of Hemanta Ritu, the start of winter. You could even call it pre-winter. This Ritu covers the months of Margashiram and Pushyam. The temperature really starts to drop, and you'll often wake up to mist and dew on the ground. It's that perfect transition season as the real cold starts to settle in.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. The year cycle of ritus concludes with Shishira, the very heart of winter. During Magam and Falguna, this is when we hit the coldest part of the year. Nature kind of goes dormant, you'll see trees shed their old leaves, but it's not really an ending. It's more like they're getting ready for the new growth that's going to arrive with spring, bringing us right back to the beginning, full circle. Okay, so we have the common 3 seasons on one hand, and then these 6 traditional ritus on the other. So how do they actually fit together? Well, this is where it gets really cool, and it all clicks into place.
See, the key thing to realize is that the 6 ritus aren't some separate, competing system. They're just a more detailed version of the 3-season model. They pair up perfectly. Vasanta and Grishma combine to make the broader summer. Varsha and Sharad team up to create the rainy season. And Hemantha and Shishira make up winter. It's just this beautifully logical and elegant system.
So when you take a step back and look at this whole dual system, what does it really tell us? Because it's about so much more than just dates on a page.
It shows that this isn't just a way to track time. It's more like a framework for observing and living in harmony with nature's delicate, constantly changing cycle. It recognizes not just the big, major shifts, but also all those subtle transitions in between.
And all this kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If the traditional Telugu calendar reveals such a deep connection to nature, What do the calendars that we use every day reveal about what we value and how we see our own world? Something to think about.